that I got off of Amazon. I think it was like 70 bucks. Comes with all this stuff here. It's got kind of a hammer. Comes with some different points for you to, I guess, to ping down, like if there's a dent poking out instead of going in. It's got a little kind of a convex head there. There's different, where's that little, there's a little back here. Here it is. It's got different attachments. These two pieces on the hammer unscrew. It's got these other little attachments that you can screw on there. The other way, of course, that's if you're going to pound something down, right? So we're going to pull dents. We want to pull dents. This is one of the pullers it comes with. It's got all these different little attachments here for different size dents and whatnot. So here are the attachments for that. This is a little screwdriver, or this is the glue gun. These are the glue sticks. Apparently these are special. They're really kind of tacky and sticky. They're not like the ones you get at Hobby Lobby. So from all my research, if you run out of these, you need to make sure you get the right ones. Comes with white gloves. I don't know why. Came with one microfiber cloth. I've got a ton of those, buy them by the gross. Another little body hammer-ish type situation. Scraper. These are attachments for that you glue on to dents. That is for this slide hammer here. So you can use it as a slide hammer, or you can remove this end down here, put this piece here, and just kind of use it to just kind of manually pull with. Spray bottle, didn't have any solution in it. I don't know what that's for. Terrible directions. I've got a dent. It's kind of hard to see, the car's dirty. So there's a little dent. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, looks like it's okay. You can kind of see it. It's right here. The center of the dent's right here. So this is the first one I'm going to try to pull out. This little thing right here, after I just could not figure out what this was for, why I had the lines on it, that kind of thing. I think I know what it is now, and hopefully I can show you this. This is how I'm going to use it. It's a pretty good idea if this is what it's for. But as you can see here, I've got the dent marked. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but whenever you move back and forth, the reflection of these lines shows you the dent. So I hope that's showing up. I can see it through the lens here. But anyway, it just helps highlight the dent. So I'm going to use the little bridge piece, and I'll show you that in a minute. So what I've done here is I've selected, out of those pieces, I've selected the one that best fits that dent. It's a little small dent. So this is a pretty small, let me see if I can get in there. Yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna fire up the glue gun, let that get hot, and then we're gonna glue this on and try to pull that dent out. So let me get that going. I won't bore you with the heat gun heating up, but anyway, so yeah, that little line thing works pretty good, highlighting the dent. And I've also got it, as you can see, I just used a regular Sharpie for that. That should wipe off, no problem with a tub of towel or alcohol. I've already cleaned it. The little bottle that it came with, I just got some 91% isopropyl alcohol from the old medicine chest there in the house. And so I've already cleaned it and then put the mark around it. I didn't want to put the mark around it and then clean it because I didn't know if that would wipe the mark off or not. So anyway, yeah, so it's already clean, and I'm sure that's an important part of the process to get the glue to stick. So anyway, I'll get the glue gun fired up, and we'll get that thing glued on. So the glue gun's heated up. I'm going to, it tells you to start from the middle and work your way out. So I'm doing that, covering this whole thing with hot glue. And then I'm going to set it there. Now it tells you not to push it down completely all the way to the metal. It says leave about 1 millimeter. I'm just kind of doing that by feel, and hopefully it's going to work out. So there it goes. It's set. I'm just going to let that dry now and come back with this this little bridge here that'll actually go over that, and then this piece here will screw onto that stem, and then it'll raise that up and hopefully pop the dent out. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, and then when we come back, we'll see how it does. Okay, moment of truth. The glue looks dry. I got a little bit on the floor in the garage, and it's dried up. It was really hard to scrape off just with using my fingers. This glue's really substantial. So, like I said, we're gonna take this bridge, put that center through there, and then kind of flatten out the feet. I'm gonna go ahead and move this out of the way. This thing works really good too. It's really sticky. So try to get these feet down flat. Here we go. I've never done this before. I've seen guys do this in person with paintless dent repair with the rods. I mean, I've got some mechanical skill, kind of how metal flexes and works. So I'm just kind of hopefully use what little bit of knowledge I have about this. See if this will work. So here we go. Disaster. It didn't stick. So, all right, I'm gonna peel this off. We'll try it again. All right, so I got the glue off that was stuck on the car. The kit came with this little, it looks like a Bondo spreader, but anyway, the glue was really stuck to the car. I had to use some alcohol. This time I went ahead and wiped this piece off with alcohol, re-cleaned that, and as I suspected, it did wipe away. The alcohol dissolved that Sharpie. So I redrew the circle. I took my, whatever you want to call this thing, moved it back in so I can really see the dent better when I'm laying this on there. So let's try it again. I'm gonna try to press it a little bit harder this time. I think maybe I didn't press it enough. So, plus the glue looks a lot hotter now than it did the first time. Okay, so there we go. All right, we'll let this dry, and then we'll try to pull it again. All right, here we go with attempt number 2. I put a little more glue on, and like I said, I cleaned this and, of course, cleaned the car again. So this is attempt number 2 with a little bit more glue and a little more drying time. So let's try and turn this and see what happens. Okay, well, that came off pretty easy, and it didn't feel like it pulled much. So let me put the camera down, and we'll scrape that off and see what happened. I don't think anything happened. Well, okay, so I got the glue cleaned off, and actually, you know, I did feel some resistance the first time when I initially started pulling it, and I'm sure this isn't going to show up on camera, but the dent is more shallow than it was before. It was almost a pointy, like, you know, something was. So it's a lot flatter. I hope you can see that in the video here. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that head out and put a thicker one on there. And since it seems like the sharpness of the dent has gotten tugged out. So I'm going to put a bigger head on there on that puller, and we'll try that. So let's see how that goes. So as you can see now, this is the 3rd attempt I've got. Sorry, there's a fly there. Got a bigger head on there, glued, let it set, and we'll start turning her, see what she does. Now, before I get too crazy, this part of the car right here is a really it's like a compound. So you've got a curve going that way, and then it's curving going this way as well. So the steel right here is going to be under a little more tension than, like, say, a flat type panel would be. So there, I've got some resistance. Let's keep screwing. All right, the glue's pretty much broke off. So we'll get this cleaned up and see what it did this time. Okay, so I got all kinds of funky things with clouds rolling in, goofing up my light here. So I'm gonna try and put this in a different position. I'm experimenting with some lights behind me, and it's just not working out. So hopefully you can see this. Now this is like a top view, so you can see the antenna here. This camera's sitting on top of the trunk. So I'm gonna put the slide hammer on here, give it a tug, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully something good. All right, so it's on there. Let me give it a smack. Let me hold it straight as I can. All right. We'll pull that glue tab off, see if we did anything. Got it all cleaned off. You can still, this is really tricky on the eyes. You can still kind of see right there. Without that reflection board on there, it's almost impossible to see just with your eye. So I think I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna hit it again with that slide hammer, and let's see what happens. So go back on with the slide hammer. Kind of tricky. I don't want to over pull it, so let's clean this off and see how it looks. So I just kept going with the time lapse. I put another one down here. I noticed the dent down there, and I went ahead and put the slide hammer on there, as you can see. And man, it is so, the dent now, which there's the antenna, so it was just below the antenna there. It is so insignificant now. I mean, I